Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having a great day. So today I am in Texas. I'm in Plano, Texas, just outside of Louisville. Just did the Tamales World Eating. What is it? The Tamale Eating World Championship. There we go. That's the right way to say it. My usual MO, just hanging out in a hotel room, editing. Gonna see if I can't bang out this video in the next day or two, so you guys can check out how I did without too much delay. Check out how the contest went down. Now, the tamale eating contest takes place in Louisville, Texas. It's in conjunction with the Western Days Festival, which is actually a pretty cool festival. You know, they've got like the fried food there. They've got plenty of stalls where people are selling stuff. This year they had a lot of really cool like old-timey tractors and some cool sports cars and stuff out on display. So lots of cool stuff to see at the festival if you just want to like hang out, stuff like that. But of course, I was there just for the eating contest. So the contest this year was the same day as the pork rolls eating contest, which was out of state. So I was thinking that the field might be a little bit thin, that some of the other big eaters would be, you know, over there doing the pork roll thing. That turned out to be like kind of true, kind of not true. This year we had, you know, Jeff Esper, of course, he was there, big eater. Michelle Lesko was there. Who else? Mickey Sudo showed up. It was cool to compete against Mickey Sudo for the first time. Got to meet her new kid. So without any further ado, let's get this thing rolling and check out how I stacked up in the tamale eating contest. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Sam Barkley, of course, doing his countdown, doing his MC thing. Oh, he's a great MC. Got my timer on my wrist, and we're off. Now, this is San Pedrino. No, is it Pedrino Foods? There we go. Pedrino Foods supplied the tamales this year, which I think was a different company, but like same tamales. I think it was just repackaged tamales with a different, you know, advertising on the outside. So 2-ounce tamales. I was expecting these to be pretty similar to the ones that I had 2 years ago when I first did the tamale eating contest. That year, 2019, was one of the first Major League Eating contests that I did. I managed to eat 59 tamales, so I was hoping to get somewhere around there. You know, maybe do a little bit better. Of course, you got Jeff Esper there. He's going to eat, you know, 100 tamales or something ridiculous, so I wasn't worried about getting first place. But I did have a couple of folks that I wanted to compete against. You see, starting out, I'm trying to grab 2 tamales, seeing if I could get those down. I don't think that helped speed me up at all, so I just kind of like stuck with the, you know, 1 tamale at a time. Shove a tamale in my mouth, take a sip of water, trying to remain relaxed. It was a very hot day that day, so it made it a little bit difficult to like try to relax, try to let food slide down as far into my stomach as I could. I did, you know, like right there, I just did a little bit of the like food shimmy to try to get some food, force it down further into my stomach. Now, I remember these tamales not being too salty, but they tasted really salty this year. And I talked with some other people after the contest. They said that they were a little bit spicier. And like, I wonder if it was just me or if they were a little bit saltier than they have been in previous years. I don't know. So I did have like an electrolyte drink mix with me to try to like flavor the water a little bit. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I had some like lemonade or orange juice, something without electrolytes in it to cut through the salt. So I just stuck, like after eating the first couple of tamales, I just stuck with the water because I knew that I didn't want to have any more salt in me than I needed to have there. And honestly, I think the salt was the limiting factor in my performance this year. Like I started to get that kind of feeling where it's like kind of gagging a little bit, like I had trouble swallowing even though I still had plenty of room left in my stomach. But at this point in the contest, it is a 10-minute contest, so that's why we got the 10-minute timer going up. Yeah, at this point in the contest, I'm feeling good. Just trying to get in a rhythm, trying to you know, keep the pace, try not to slow down too much. And unlike previous contests, I'm really like being conscientious about not going too fast. So making sure that you know, just trying to like stay relaxed, stay loose. Because in previous contests, like I mentioned before, being too wound up too tight, I think, has been my limiting factor a little bit. It's prevented me from filling my stomach up quite as much as I might have been able to. So yeah, going into this contest, I definitely wanted to be as loose and relaxed as I possibly could. I mean, it worked for Sloppers. I did pretty well there at Sloppers. That was 3 weeks before this contest, I believe. Something like that. I don't know. Now, tamales, if you guys are not familiar with them, tamales are an incredibly delicious Mexican food. They're made by wrapping like this corn mash with different meat ingredients and stuff like that. Usually they're meat ingredients. Yeah, like pork, beef, that kind of thing, chicken. I love chicken tamales. Oh, those are so good. But yeah, you wrap up meat and corn mash, like cornmeal. I think there's a special name for it in Mexico, but yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is. But you wrap those up in corn husks and steam them. And I mean, they taste fabulous. They're incredible. These ones tasted very, very delicious. I was talking to some of the guys after the contest who were like producing the contest. I let them know that like, even though I was plenty full right then, I would certainly be willing to come back the next day to have some more tamales, because these things were, they were magnificent. They were a little bit spicier than I would have liked for a contest, but they were, you know, like a nice little bit of heat in them, which I think would have been delicious to have, just like as a sit-down restaurant. Maybe just me trying to enjoy myself was slowing me down a little bit. I don't know. See, again, I am pretty happy that this year it seems like I'm closer to the center of the table. Sam's giving me a little bit of a hard time for not having the water bottle uncapped. I don't think that actually cost me any time. Might have taken me an extra second, but I don't think it would have changed my performance at all. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy to be closer to the center of the table than I have been in previous years. Sam has introduced me as like a really great rookie who's like climbing my way up the ladder of Major League Eating, which I don't know. I've had some pretty good performances, but I'm still, you know, a step or two below the big guys there. So there was Michelle right next to me. I had Sophia DeVita on the other side of me, just off camera. To my, what would that be? To my right, to camera left, to your guys' left if you're watching this. And on the other side of Michelle, you can see Jeff Esper popping in and out of frame. Next to Jeff, of course, is Mickey Studio. You got to have the two stars front and center of the table. And some really big hitters on the other side of the table too. Like I said, there was Adrian, there was Gordon Hazard. Who else was there? I know I'm forgetting one or two other guys, but yeah. It's always an interesting experience to like meet some of the new competitors, stuff like that. I got to meet, oh my goodness, no, I cannot remember his name.
Bobby Weaver, this is his cheat day, and he's saying, you know, we see the dancing. They're dancing for Bobby Weaver. He's throwing in tamales. He is combing his towels at the same time. He never skips leg day. He's working over the interior and exterior of the car, getting that definition.
Yeah, I got to meet Sergio, number 43 with Major League Eating at this contest. Super cool guy, super full of energy, and we were talking about, you know, like, he said he's from Mexico, he lives in the United States, but he's, you know, of Mexican descent. He's telling me about tamales are so great. He was telling me that the way he likes tamales, the way his mother used to make them for him, was with like raisins and sugar in them, and like make like a sweet dessert tamale, or like raisins and cinnamon, I guess. So he's saying it was almost like having kind of like a churro, like the taste of a churro with more of the texture of a tamale. It sounded super delicious. Like, I've never seen that before, but it got me hyped to go home and to try to make some myself. I'm definitely gonna check that out. They sound friggin' delicious. And you guys know me. It's like carbs on carbs on carbs. I'm carbs all day. So I'll have sugar with my cornmeal, just fine. Don't need to have any more meat or anything like that in those things for me. So in prepping for this contest, going into it, honestly, I was a little bit low energy. I felt like I was not so jazzed to be there that day. I don't know. I've just had kind of a stressful week, so I think it was getting me down. I was trying not to, trying to keep the energy up a little bit, but I was struggling just a bit. A week before this, I had run a marathon, and then, like I said, I've just had a pretty stressful week, so I think I'm feeling kind of run down, so that probably affected my performance a little bit. Right now, I'm probably at like 48, 50 tamales, somewhere around there, and I'm thinking that it's going to be tough if I want to try to match my previous numbers. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but, I guess I'll have to wait one more minute to see. So the morning of the contest, since tamales don't have a giant amount of any a specific type of food that would really bog you down, like it's not a ton of protein, it's not too much sugar, it's not too much salt. They were pretty salty, but not too salty. I just went out and did a 10-mile run, did a little bit of resistance training afterwards to kind of like get myself into a bit of a caloric deficit. Nothing super special. Tried to stick with mainly water, not too many sports drinks, anything like that. Just get myself nice and hungry for the contest. All right, we're going into the final stretch of the contest. At this point, I'm thinking, I've got this one in my mouth. I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to clear it, and if I can, I'm going to try to chipmunk 2 more. I'll let you guys see how that turns out. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the video. You have a good one.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop eating! Stop! Stop eating! Stop eating! Go to heaven! I now have the enviable task of operating in a judging capacity to work out who had what. But before I do so, how about a round of applause for all of our